Why does it seem that black men date outside their race more than black women? Well, not seem. According to, we have a statistic from Pew Research Center, and black men are twice as likely to marry. This is marry outside their race than black women. And I have only dated outside my race once, and it was very brief, and it was very recent, and that was the first time trying something different. But other than that,
that's what it's about. Growth. Okay, try something different.
Mostly been with my melanated brothers, but these two have dated outside their race before, and we're just, how did that come about? Like, it's just
it's just different. I would say coming from the side that's predominantly dated outside of his race, but it started off where I was from. I was in a very mixed melting pot area, so it was all around. I had that option. I obviously went to my Queens first where it started, but back then, this is like the 90s, y'all. Black nerds didn't exist. Like me right now, like you had the jocks, you had the cool kids, like it was like you're black, but you're not black.
You ain't black.
Yeah, like what does that mean? I'm from Haiti, like I can tell them, like, all right, I'm not gonna go on over there. Like my lineage goes back. I'm Africa. I'm black. Until I was 12, I had an accent. I had to literally focus on my list. Like I talk 3 languages. I had to focus on sounding American. I was black as hell.
They probably didn't think you ain't American black. You ain't like us.
So, and I was a late bloomer. So I tried to go out and girls. So whatever like this, I didn't fit in that place. I go where I fit in. I didn't even go where I fit in. It just happened to me. Those options were put in front of me. I wasn't searching for it or anything like that. It just happened. Coming from where I've been with Asian, Spanish, outside black. So, and then coming in now, I've experienced love on all the other sides, but then recently I've experienced black love, and I love it. But other than that, coming from that, it's nothing like we're just trying to get away from there. It could have been like I was shunned from like a little kid or something like that, just changing over. I just going with the flow. So it's not like I'm particularly trying to dodge outside of my race.
Yeah, it wasn't like, oh, you don't like black women. It just whoever you vibed with, whoever was convenient, whoever was accessible, that's who you dated.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. I totally understand that. It makes sense. That just hasn't been my experiences. I feel like I haven't had as many encounters with men outside my race as black men. And even when I do have encounters with men outside my race, it's never romantic. I don't know.
Usually not romantic.
Yeah, most
hasn't been romantic.
Yeah.
No, it hasn't been romantic.
Yeah,
no.
It's
never that chemistry or that like little underlining spark. No, that don't happen.
I mean, me going to school in Florida, college in Florida, I feel like the culture there, it's more open, especially being on the beach, to have like interracial relationships.
And everybody's foreign in Florida.
Yeah, that's what I'm used to. South Florida, that's what we have.
Haitians, Cubans, Africans, Russians, everywhere. Like then there's your Americans that are visiting from all around the country, and then people from around the world. So it was like a melting pot, and people were more open to that, right? So I have dated a couple white girls. My serious relationships was with an Asian girl and black women. And, being in Atlanta, I just feel like, now I'm seeing more interracial couples, but I feel like, it's just increased with time. People still have their pockets of like, oh, the black people are here, the white people are here. Every once in a while, they get together at different places, different clubs or whatever, but it's still kind of separated more than in Florida. So, I just feel like, some guys, they feel like they've been shunned by their black queens, and they're like, hey, let me try something else. These, like you said, they got the opportunity available to them, and they're like, let me try something different. They're like, oh, let me try this Asian girl, show me a little attention. Or
show me
this
love.
Latina, or they go after them. They're like, hey, you know what? Let me try something different. It's just like that lack of trying something different. It's just like, yeah, if you go into a restaurant and you only get the same thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like trying something different on the menu.
I can't think of a time that Asian man has ever hit on me.
You don't know yet until it happens. You just got to be open-minded.
But I mean, I'm not saying that I haven't been open-minded to it, but I'm just saying that has not happened.
And you're kind of at a disadvantage, I feel like, more and more with like this independent, you know, like feminist kind of movement. I feel more women, I don't know what the percentage of, but I feel like more women, they're more open to, and it's not just the old model of the guy always approaches and chases the girl. I think that more women are like, hey, I like this guy, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna see if you wanna. So for you,
go after what you want.
You don't do that. You won't approach your dude, or you won't like show that interest or reverse it. But that means that you have to wait till that other side approaches you. Yeah. So I mean, parts of it, I don't know, but I feel like there's a whole nother game that us as guys really don't know about, that maybe you were taught, you know about trying to entice and be alluring. I mean, with the makeup, with the behavior, so that a guy will come and talk to you. So a guy
I feel like when I want a guy, I know how to get him to talk to me. That's the only game I got.
So have you ever used that with somebody outside your race, though?
Yeah.
No, and I never really
wanted to. You never tried to.
I never tried to, and I never really wanted to.
And these are the things that I'm like, that's just a different point of view to look at it, which I'll be trying to do without just being devil's advocate, but saying that, okay, your side is valid, but this other side is valid too, that you haven't been really trying to pull that attention to you from people outside of your race. You haven't been trying to get that kind of attention. Yeah. And so that means that maybe you haven't really been open to it. And when you were open to it, then it happened.
I think moving forward, I will be more open to it. But I feel like before I wasn't open to it because I honestly did not know that they were attracted to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just didn't know that they were attracted to me. They never expressed that they was attracted to me. I didn't grow up around. I really grew up around white people and then black people, and
it's possible that more black women feel the same way. They're like, oh, I feel like they're not attracted to us. Like black dudes, they show their interest in us, and they have
different ways of showing. Yes, black dudes have different ways of showing they're interested versus another race. You wouldn't know that because you don't deal with that. Whether they could be throwing it at you the whole time, or you can have your soulmate in the room the entire time. But the way you're used to being approached, he's approaching someone completely different, and you never knew it.
Mm-hmm.
So in a way, it's from another. So it's just like that's that part of like, so certain things like I gotta admit, I'm not open to. You gotta realize if I'm not open to it, then bro, it's not really the others. It may not be the other side fault if it hasn't happened. If I'm not open, like for instance, I used to not be open to like sushi, things like this. I'm like, nah, sushi. I'm not eating raw fish, like whatever. So I'm not gonna. People are like, yeah, you should try. I love it. I always hear about it, but I'm not interested into it until I worked for Morimoto in Miami, which is like an Iron Chef, right? So then they had all these premium cuts from this market, Tsukiji market, Japan, whatever. They flying it in, and it's very expensive. And we had the little samples of it. You know what I'm saying? That got me into like the tiny little samples. I was like, I maybe not the whole thing. A little bit, but you're trying a little by little. Yeah, I can try a tiny little sample of squid, of salmon, of this, that's raw. Or sometimes it's cured, whatever. The point is I tried the little things. I'm like, oh, it's not that bad. I can have a little bit more. And then I started enjoying it. Yeah. And I was like, man, okay, like this is something new. Yeah. I never really, like in a little increments.
I dated like over the summer. I went on a couple dates with a guy from South America. And it was cool. I just felt like that he was trying to move faster. Like I felt like I needed a longer time to move on to like physical stuff. I was like, okay, I'm not there yet. And I don't know if I was not there because he wasn't black or
what did you communicate that with him?
I didn't know how to say that.
What about like hurting his feelings?
Yeah, I didn't want to be like, listen, I need more time to get to know you before we do. And is that what
affected the relationship for it to not move forward?
Oh yeah, he wanted to move to that, and I didn't. I'm sure he don't. If he watching this, he like, oh, so that's why you ghosted me. But No, don't DM me. No. I hope he's not watching this.